1. Never outshine the master. This law is all about managing power dynamics. When you try to impress those above you with your talents, you risk inspiring fear or insecurity. Some superiors may feel threatened by your charm, intelligence, or natural abilities. Instead, make them feel comfortably superior. Highlight their brilliance even if it's not as bright as your own. The goal isn't to hide your talents but to use restraint and subtlety. Power isn't always about dominance. Sometimes, knowing when to step back can take you further than standing out. 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Friends can be unpredictable. They may feel entitled to special treatment or betray you when emotions come into play. On the other hand, enemies can often be more reliable. Why? Because their actions are motivated by clear intentions, making them easier to manage. Turn former enemies into allies and watch how they often work harder to prove their loyalty. At the same time, keep friends at a comfortable distance when it comes to business or power. Trust is a currency, spend it wisely. This law teaches that power doesn't come from blind loyalty but from understanding human nature and using it to your advantage. 3. Conceal your intentions. Never reveal your plans too openly. When people know your true intentions, they can predict your moves, block your progress, or even use your goals against you. Instead, keep them guessing. Misdirection is key. Let your words and actions lead others down the wrong path while you quietly pursue your true objective. By keeping your intentions hidden, you maintain control and stay unpredictable. This isn't about deceit, it's about strategy. The less people know, the more powerful you become. 4. Always say less than necessary. The more you speak, the more likely you are to reveal too much, weaken your position, or even offend someone. Silence and brevity give your words more weight, leaving others intrigued or unsure of your true thoughts. When you speak sparingly, you create an aura of mystery and control. People will hang on to your words, giving them more power. Remember, in the game of power, restraint often speaks louder than words. 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Your reputation is the cornerstone of your power. It shapes how others perceive you and determines your influence. A solid reputation can open doors and command respect, while a damaged one can ruin everything. Defend it at all costs. Be vigilant against rumors, slander, or anything that might tarnish your name. At the same time, learn to attack the reputation of your rivals when necessary. It's often more effective than a direct confrontation. In the game of power, your reputation is your armor. Keep it polished and unbreakable. 6. Court attention at all costs. To stay relevant and maintain power, you must always be visible. Attention is currency. Without it, you fade into the background, and your influence diminishes. Be bold, unpredictable, and memorable. Even controversy can be a tool to keep you in the spotlight. But remember, not all attention is good attention. Know where to draw the line. In a world where everyone competes for the spotlight, standing out is essential. Power gravitates to those who refuse to be ignored. 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. One of the most powerful strategies in gaining influence is leveraging the efforts of others. Instead of doing everything yourself, find skilled people and get them to handle the heavy lifting. In the end, you control the results and take the recognition. This law isn't about exploiting people. It's about using your resources wisely. By positioning yourself as the visionary, you can let others put in the work while you reap the rewards. Delegation is key, but make sure to ensure you always stand in the spotlight, taking the credit for success. 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. When you chase after others, you lose power. Instead, make them come to you. Create situations where people are drawn to you, whether through your reputation, your value, or a strategic offer. Use bait to lure them in. A solution to their problems, a unique opportunity, or even their desire for validation. When others seek you out, you maintain control of the interaction and position yourself as the prize. In power dynamics, being in demand is a position of strength. Don't chase, make others pursue you. 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Arguments rarely lead to victory. They only create resistance. And the more you argue, the more you reveal about your weaknesses. People are rarely persuaded by words alone, but they are moved by results. Instead of wasting time debating, let your actions speak for themselves. Demonstrate your value, solve problems, and show the results of your work. When you prove your worth through what you do, people will have no choice but to follow your lead. In the end, actions carry far more power than words ever will. 10. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Negative energy is contagious. Surrounding yourself with pessimistic, unlucky, or constantly complaining people will only drag you down. They can infect your mood, mindset, and even your success. Instead, seek out those who bring positive energy, who are driven and optimistic. Their mindset will lift you and help you avoid the traps of negativity. In the pursuit of power, the company you keep can either elevate or destroy you. Choose wisely who you invest your time and energy in. 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. To maintain power, you must make others rely on you. When people depend on you for something they cannot easily get elsewhere, whether it's resources, knowledge, or skills, you hold the power in the relationship. By making yourself indispensable, you ensure loyalty and control. This doesn't mean manipulation. It means building a value that others can't ignore. The more they need you, the more leverage you have. In the world of power, independence is key. but so is being the one others can't do without. 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. Honesty can be a powerful tool, but it must be used strategically. By offering a moment of sincerity or generosity, you can lower a person's guard, making them more vulnerable to your manipulation. This law is about creating trust at the right moment. A well-timed, genuine act of kindness or truth can disarm even the most cautious individuals, allowing you to gain their favor and influence. Once their defenses are down, you can move forward with your objectives. Remember, the key to this law is knowing when to be honest and when to deceive. Selectivity is everything. 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. When you need something from someone, don't rely on their goodwill or generosity. Instead, frame your request in a way that shows how helping you will benefit them. People are naturally driven by self-interest, so the more you can align your needs with their desires, the more likely they are to assist you. Appealing to someone's sense of self-interest is a powerful way to create a mutually beneficial relationship. Make them feel as though helping you is in their best interests, and they'll be far more likely to take action. In power dynamics, your success depends on understanding and leveraging the motivations of others. 14. Pose as a friend. Work as a spy. To gain power, you must learn to gather information. One of the most effective ways to do this is by posing as a friend, while secretly observing and collecting valuable intelligence. People are more willing to open up when they trust you, and by being close to them, you gain insights into their weaknesses, desires, and plans. This law isn't about betrayal, it's about being strategic. The more you know about others, the better you can anticipate their moves, outmaneuver them, and use that knowledge to your advantage. In the pursuit of power, information is a weapon. The best way to wield it is from the shadows, disguised as a confidant. 15. Crush your enemy totally. When you go after your enemies, don't leave any room for escape or retaliation. A half-hearted victory will only lead to future problems, as your enemy may regroup and strike back. To ensure your dominance, you must utterly destroy them, eliminate their resources, their allies, and their ability to recover. This law teaches that in the game of power, weakness invites counterattack. By removing every possibility for your enemy to recover, you ensure that they cannot challenge your position again. In the pursuit of power, decisiveness and totality are the keys to true victory. 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Too much presence can lead to being taken for granted. When you're always around, people can become desensitized to your influence, and your value diminishes. By creating strategic absences, you make people crave your presence and respect your contributions more. This law shows the power of scarcity. When you're rare, you become more desirable, and your absence can increase your value. The key is timing, knowing when to step back and allow your absence to amplify your significance. In the game of power, sometimes less is more. Make yourself scarce, and watch your influence grow. 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. People are most easily controlled when they are unsure of what to expect from you. If you are predictable, others can plan against you, counter your moves, and anticipate your actions. But if you keep them guessing, they will constantly be on edge, unsure of your next move. This law is about creating a sense of fear and uncertainty. When people can't predict your behavior, they will be hesitant to challenge you. By keeping your actions erratic and unpredictable, you can maintain the upper hand and keep others off balance. In the game of power, unpredictability is a weapon. Use it to keep your rivals disoriented and fearful. 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. While it may seem tempting to hide behind walls to protect yourself, isolation weakens you. When you shut yourself off from others, you cut yourself off from valuable information, resources, and opportunities. It creates a sense of vulnerability, leaving you exposed to attacks you can't anticipate. Instead, stay connected, remain visible, and always be in the mix. Cultivate relationships, build alliances, and stay engaged with the world around you. Your power grows when you're integrated into networks, not when you're hidden away. In the game of power, isolation is your enemy. Stay out in the open and stay engaged. 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Every individual has different strengths, weaknesses, and temperaments. Understanding who you're dealing with is essential to protecting yourself and navigating power dynamics. Some people will tolerate insults, while others will retaliate with destructive force. This law advises you to assess your opponent carefully before making any move. By recognizing their vulnerabilities and triggers, you can avoid unnecessary conflicts and gain the upper hand. Be selective in who you challenge, and avoid antagonizing those with power or unpredictable reactions. In the game of power, knowing your opponents and allies and knowing how to navigate their personalities is as crucial as any strategy. 20. Do not commit to anyone. By committing to one person or cause, you give up your flexibility and make yourself vulnerable. When you attach yourself to someone or something, you create expectations and obligations that limit your freedom of movement. Instead, remain independent and keep your options open. By not committing fully to anyone, you retain your power to act in your own best interests. People will respect you more when they see that you answer to no one and that your loyalty lies with yourself. In the game of power, freedom is key. Stay unattached, and you hold all the cards. 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. One of the most powerful strategies in power dynamics is deception. By pretending to be less intelligent, capable, or aware than you actually are, You can lure your target into underestimating you. This causes them to make mistakes and reveal their true intentions, giving you the upper hand. People often let down their guard when they think they're dealing with someone less perceptive or influential. Once they believe they're in control, you can turn the tables and gain the advantage. In the game of power, sometimes playing the fool is the most strategic move. Let others think they are in charge, and use their overconfidence to outsmart them. 22. Use the surrender tactic, transform weakness into power. Sometimes the best way to gain power is by appearing to give it up. Surrendering or yielding in certain situations can disarm your opponent, making them believe they have won. This sense of victory causes them to become complacent, which gives you the opportunity to strike back stronger when they least expect it. By strategically surrendering, you turn your perceived weakness into an advantage. It creates confusion and lowers their guard, allowing you to regain the initiative. In the game of power, knowing when to yield can be just as powerful as knowing when to fight. 23. Concentrate your forces. To achieve power and success, you must focus your energy and resources on one area, one goal, or one opportunity at a time. Spreading yourself too thin weakens your ability to make a significant impact. By concentrating your forces, you create momentum and increase your chances of success. This law emphasizes the importance of focus. By narrowing your efforts, you amplify your strength and can overcome obstacles more effectively. It's about being deliberate with your actions and pouring all your energy into the most critical objective. In the game of power, concentration is key. Do not scatter your efforts. Focus on what matters most, and you'll achieve greater results. 24. Play the perfect courtier. To gain power, you must master the art of pleasing those above you without appearing desperate or manipulative. A courtier is someone who is adept at navigating the complex social dynamics of a powerful group, knowing how to flatter, charm, and remain indispensable without overstepping boundaries. This law is about understanding social hierarchies and mastering the subtle art of influence. By being gracious, tactful, and respectful, you can gain favor and make yourself valuable to those in power, all while remaining discreet and humble. In the game of power, charm, subtlety, and politeness are your greatest tools. Play the part of the perfect courtier, and you will secure your place among the powerful. 25. Recreate yourself. In the pursuit of power, you must never be static. The world is constantly changing, and to remain relevant, you must continuously evolve and reinvent yourself. This law is about crafting your own identity and presenting yourself in a way that aligns with the times, the environment, and your goals. By reshaping your image, you can take control of how others perceive you. Whether you're embracing new roles, adopting different behaviors, or changing your style, recreating yourself allows you to stay ahead of the curve and avoid being pigeonholed by others' expectations. In the game of power, the ability to adapt and reinvent yourself is a critical skill. The more flexible and dynamic you are, the more opportunities you can seize. 26. Keep your hands clean. Power often involves making difficult decisions that may upset or harm others. To maintain your reputation and influence, you must distance yourself from any dirty work or morally questionable actions. Always have others do the work for you, while you maintain the image of being above reproach. This law teaches the importance of managing your reputation and ensuring that your actions are always seen as legitimate and honorable. By keeping your hands clean, you protect your public image, allowing you to maintain power without the burden of guilt or blame. In the game of power, perception is everything. Use others to handle the unsavory tasks, and your position will remain secure and respected. 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. Humans have an inherent desire to belong, to believe in something greater than themselves. By tapping into this need, you can create a sense of loyalty and devotion that elevates your influence. People will follow you not just for your power, but because they believe in your vision, cause, or persona. This law is about crafting a narrative, creating a compelling story that people can rally behind. When you align your actions with their deepest desires or fears, you can inspire them to follow you almost blindly. By appealing to their emotions, you create a community that is fiercely loyal and driven by belief. In the game of power, belief is a potent tool. If you can inspire others to believe in you, you will gain a powerful following that propels you to new heights. 28. Interaction with boldness. When you hesitate or act with uncertainty, you open yourself up to failure. Power favors those who take decisive, bold action. When you commit fully to a course of action, without doubt or fear, you inspire confidence in others and force situations to unfold in your favor. This law emphasizes the importance of confidence and decisiveness. Boldness not only shows strength but also deters others from challenging you. The moment you step into action with conviction, others are more likely to follow or support you, fearing that hesitating will lead to missed opportunities. In the game of power, boldness is often the key to success. Never let doubt stop you. Act with confidence and determination, and others will be drawn to your vision and strength. 29. Plan all the way to the end. The ability to plan with foresight is essential in the pursuit of power. If you cannot see the end result of your actions, you risk being blindsided by unforeseen obstacles or missed opportunities. Every decision you make should be part of a larger strategy, with an understanding of how your actions will impact your ultimate goals. This law stresses the importance of thinking long-term, anticipating obstacles, understanding the possible consequences of your decisions, and adjusting your approach accordingly are all part of the planning process. You must be prepared for various outcomes and have contingency plans in place to maintain your position of power. In the game of power, only those who can plan ahead and stay focused on their end goal will succeed. Always see the big picture, and you'll be prepared for anything. 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. The less effort you appear to exert, the more power you seem to possess. When you make your achievements look easy, others are awed by your natural ability and grace. This perception of effortless mastery not only elevates your status but also makes you more intimidating, as people can't easily see the hard work behind your success. This law is about controlling perception. By hiding the struggle and showcasing only the result, you create an image of someone who is in control, almost untouchable. The more effortlessly you succeed, the more respect and admiration you garner from others. In the game of power, what is seen is often more important than what is done. Make your victories look effortless, and you will elevate your position while others struggle to keep up. 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. In any power dynamic, controlling the choices of others gives you an immense advantage. By presenting options that seem like the best course of action, you can guide others into making decisions that ultimately serve your interests. People often think they are in control when they are given choices, but you're the one controlling the narrative by setting the parameters of those choices. This law is about manipulation through subtlety. Rather than directly forcing others into a specific action, you create a situation where they believe they are making decisions on their own terms. By controlling the options, you shape the outcome without others even realizing it. In the game of power, true influence comes from giving others the illusion of control while ensuring that the choices they make benefit you in the end. 32. Play to people's fantasies. People are often driven by their desires, dreams, and illusions, rather than by reality. To gain power, you must learn how to tap into these fantasies and give them what they want, rather than what they need. By appealing to people's deepest fantasies, you can make them see you as the answer to their desires, and they will be drawn to you. This law emphasizes the power of illusion. Reality can be harsh, but fantasy is where people seek comfort, escape, and hope. When you craft your persona or your offer to reflect what people long for, whether it's success, beauty, love, or status, you create an irresistible allure. In the game of power, the ability to play to people's fantasies gives you influence over them. When you become a symbol of their hopes, they will willingly follow you, and your power will grow. 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Every person has a weakness, a vulnerability, a thumbscrew that, when pressed, will force them to act in your favor. By carefully observing others, you can identify their insecurities, desires, or fears, and use this knowledge to manipulate them. Once you know their weakness, you gain the power to influence their behavior and decisions. This law teaches you the importance of understanding others on a deep level. By learning what drives people, whether it's a fear, a need for validation, or a desire for control, you can subtly exploit these emotional triggers to get them to do what you want. In the game of power, knowledge is your weapon. Discover the vulnerabilities of those around you, and you will have the leverage to shape their actions and gain the upper hand. 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. In order to gain respect and power, you must first respect yourself and project an image of confidence and authority. When you carry yourself with the attitude and demeanor of someone who is already at the top, others will naturally treat you as such. By exuding self-worth and power, you will draw others to you and inspire them to treat you as someone deserving of greatness. This law emphasizes the importance of self-belief and posture. If you act with dignity, strength, and authority, the world will mirror that behavior. You must carry yourself as if you are already a king, and the respect and admiration you seek will follow. In the game of power, how you present yourself is just as important as what you achieve. To be treated like royalty, act like royalty, and the world will follow suit. 35. Master the art of timing. Timing is crucial in the pursuit of power. Knowing when to act, when to wait, and when to retreat can make all the difference between success and failure. The ability to sense the right moment and take decisive action is what separates the powerful from the powerless. Being too early or too late can diminish the impact of your actions. This law is about patience and awareness. The most successful players in the game of power are those who understand the rhythms of the world around them and know when to strike. By waiting for the perfect moment, you create maximum impact and ensure that your efforts are met with the greatest reward. In the game of power, timing is everything. Mastering it allows you to avoid mistakes, capitalize on opportunities, and achieve your goals with precision and impact. 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. When you are unable to obtain something or someone, the best course of action is to act as if you don't care. Show disdain for what is out of your reach, as obsessing over it will only weaken your position. When you demonstrate that you are unaffected by what others desire or possess, you project strength and self-sufficiency. This law is about maintaining emotional control and composure. If you focus on what you lack, you reveal weakness and vulnerability. However, when you remain indifferent and show that you don't need anything outside of yourself to feel fulfilled, you elevate your stature. In the game of power, those who can show disdain for what they cannot have are in control. By doing so, You show that nothing and no one has the power to undermine your strength. 37. Create compelling spectacles. People are drawn to drama, excitement, and grandeur. By creating visually striking, memorable events or displays, you capture attention and leave a lasting impression. A spectacle not only distracts from your true intentions but also positions you as someone powerful and influential. The more impressive your display, the more people will believe in your power and the authority you wield. This law emphasizes the power of spectacle in shaping perceptions. A well-executed event or demonstration of skill can elevate your status and make others see you as larger than life. Whether it's a grand entrance, a remarkable feat, or a show of strength, the right spectacle leaves others in awe and reinforces your position. In the game of power, appearances are crucial. Create compelling spectacles to capture attention and solidify your dominance in the eyes of others. 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. To maintain power and avoid unnecessary conflict, it is often wiser to blend in with the crowd. While it's important to think independently and form your own beliefs, outwardly, you should conform to social norms and expectations. By doing so, you avoid attracting unwanted attention or criticism. People are often less likely to challenge you when you behave in a way that makes you appear like everyone else. This law is about the balance between inner conviction and outward conformity. While you may hold radical views or pursue unconventional ideas, it's essential to temper how you present yourself. Behaving like others allows you to move through the world without causing friction or unnecessary suspicion, keeping your power intact. In the game of power, blending in with the masses while maintaining your individuality in private is a strategic move. By appearing ordinary, you remain in control without drawing unwanted attention. 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. In situations where things are calm or stagnant, creating a disturbance can work to your advantage. By stirring up emotions, conflicts, or chaos, you provoke reactions that reveal hidden truths, vulnerabilities, and opportunities. People become agitated, and in their confusion, they make mistakes or act in ways that can benefit you. This law is about using disruption as a tool to uncover what others are trying to hide. This law teaches that you don't always need to wait for a perfect opportunity. Sometimes, by creating a little chaos or uncertainty, you can force people into revealing their true intentions, weaknesses, and desires. When the waters are disturbed, fish will swim toward you, allowing you to capture what you need. In the game of power, disruption can be a powerful strategy. Stir the waters, and you'll see the opportunities rise to the surface. 40. Despise the free lunch. Nothing in life comes without a cost, and when something is offered to you for free, it often carries hidden strings attached. People who offer you something without asking for anything in return may have an ulterior motive. The true price of something free is usually your dependence or a future obligation. By rejecting free offers, you maintain your independence and control. This law is about recognizing that nothing is truly free in a power dynamic. Accepting a free lunch may seem harmless, but it can make you vulnerable to manipulation or exploitation later on. Instead, learn to rely on your own resources and avoid becoming indebted to others. In the game of power, maintaining control means not accepting favors that come with hidden costs. Always be wary of the free lunch, as it could lead to future weakness and dependency. 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. When a predecessor or a mentor is great, stepping into their position can be daunting. The comparison will often be inevitable, and you may be judged not by your own merits but by the legacy of the person who came before you. If you are taking over a powerful position or role, it's wise to carve out your own identity and avoid directly competing with the greatness of your predecessor. This law teaches you the importance of establishing your own unique presence, instead of trying to fill the shoes of a great individual. Make your own mark. By forging your own path, you avoid being compared to someone else and can build a legacy that stands on its own. In the game of power, it's critical to avoid the trap of constantly comparing yourself to those who came before you. Create your own identity and let your power stand alone. 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. In any organization or group, there are key figures who hold power and influence. If you can remove or neutralize the leader, you will cause the followers to lose their direction and cohesion. The followers are often dependent on the guidance and vision of their leader. Without that central figure, they become disorganized and vulnerable, making it easier for you to gain control. This law is about targeting the source of power. When you strike at the leader, you create chaos and confusion within the group, causing them to lose focus and direction. This disruption gives you the opportunity to move in and take control. In the game of power, identifying and neutralizing key figures who hold influence is a strategic move. When the shepherd falls, the sheep will scatter, leaving you to seize the power. 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. To gain lasting power, it's not enough to control people through fear or force. The most effective way to control others is by winning their hearts and minds. When you influence someone's emotions, thoughts, and desires, you gain their loyalty and devotion. People who are emotionally invested in you will follow you without question, even when their rational mind might tell them otherwise. This law teaches that emotional manipulation and psychological influence are powerful tools. By appealing to the emotions, desires, and self-interests of others, you can shape their perceptions and gain their support. The more you can make others feel that they owe you their trust and admiration, the more power you will have over them. In the game of power, influencing the hearts and minds of others is the most sustainable way to build control. When people are emotionally tied to you, they will follow you willingly and unconditionally. 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. One of the most effective ways to undermine your opponents is by mirroring their behavior, thoughts, and actions. People are often frustrated by others who reflect back their own qualities, as it makes them feel uncomfortable and defensive. By doing so, you disarm them because they become uncertain of their position and motivations. It can make them feel as if they are facing a reflection of themselves, causing confusion and anger. This law teaches that by using the mirror effect, you can provoke emotional responses from your opponents, throwing them off balance and disorienting them. When you reflect their actions or thoughts back to them, you strip away their power to attack you. They become trapped in their own behavior and unable to act against you with clarity. In the game of power, using the mirror effect is a strategic tool to control your opponent's emotions, throw them off course, and disarm them without a direct confrontation. 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Change is often necessary for progress, but too much change at once can overwhelm and alienate people. To gain power, you must make others believe that change is needed, but you should introduce it gradually. If you attempt to overhaul everything at once, you risk creating resistance, chaos, and fear. By easing people into change, you maintain control and allow them to adapt without feeling threatened. This law emphasizes the importance of pacing change. While radical reforms may be tempting, they can backfire if they push people too far too quickly. Instead, introduce small, incremental changes that lead to greater transformations over time. In the game of power, you must be strategic about change. Preach the necessity of it, but move slowly and carefully, allowing others to accept it without feeling threatened. 46. Never appear too perfect. While it might seem that striving for perfection would gain you admiration and respect, it can actually create envy and resentment. When people perceive you as flawless, they are more likely to view you as unattainable and will harbor feelings of jealousy or insecurity. Instead, show occasional vulnerability or flaws. This allows others to relate to you and feel more comfortable around you, while still respecting your power and influence. This law teaches that perfection can be a double-edged sword. When you appear too perfect, you raise yourself above others, which can lead to isolation and resentment. By allowing small imperfections, you remain human in the eyes of others, making them more likely to follow you without feeling threatened. In the game of power, showing a bit of imperfection makes you more relatable, approachable, and less likely to inspire jealousy. Let others see your flaws, and they will respect you even more. 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. Knowing when to stop is just as important as knowing when to push forward. Often, after achieving a great victory or success, there's a temptation to push for more, to go further, or to take more than what was originally intended. But this can lead to overreaching and, ultimately, downfall. If you've already gained what you set out to achieve, stopping while you're ahead preserves your power and leaves others in awe of your success. This law teaches the importance of restraint. Going beyond your original goal can lead to unintended consequences, whether it's provoking enemies, creating unnecessary conflicts, or losing what you gained. In victory, knowing when to stop ensures that you leave on a high note and maintain control over your situation. In the game of power, the key is moderation. Do not push too far. Know when to stop before your success becomes a risk. 48. Assume formlessness. The most powerful strategy in the game of power is to remain unpredictable and adaptable. By becoming formless, like water, you can shapeshift to any situation without being constrained by one identity or role. When you define yourself too rigidly or make your actions too predictable, you become vulnerable to attacks. The key to remaining untouchable is to flow around obstacles, adapt to changes, and avoid being pinned down by others' expectations. This law emphasizes flexibility and the ability to evolve. If you can avoid being categorized or trapped by fixed patterns, you'll always stay one step ahead. Constantly changing your approach and adapting to new circumstances keeps you unpredictable and difficult to challenge. In the game of power, formlessness allows you to survive and thrive in any situation. When you are formless, you have the freedom to act and move without limitation, making it harder for others to predict or control you. And that's it. Those are the 48 laws of power. These principles have stood the test of time and can provide you with the tools to navigate complex social dynamics and achieve your goals. Whether you're trying to influence, gain control, or simply understand the power around you, these laws can help shape your strategy. Remember, power isn't just about domination, it's about understanding people, timing, and knowing when to act. I encourage you to reflect on these laws and consider how they can be applied to your own life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment sharing which laws stood out to you the most. If you want more content like this, stay tuned and keep empowering yourself. Until next time, stay sharp, and remember, knowledge is power.